What I wish I knew about Gili tea. If you're planning a trip to Gili Trawangan, also known as Gili tea, there are a few things that I wished I'd known before I went. After spending 2 weeks on this little island, I picked up more than a few insights that could save you time, money, and even a bit of your sanity. First off, don't take the horse carriages. I know they look quaint and kind of romantic in a tropical island kind of way, but behind the photo ops is something very dark. These horses are brutally overworked, severely underfed, and are left in awful conditions. When they're not hauling tourists or cargo, you can see how uncomfortable they are. Their average life expectancy on the island is around 2 years, and that's only because they're worked to death, quite literally. The only reason this practice continues is because you, ladies and gentlemen, tourism funds it. I'm happy to say that I did not and would never put my money towards something like that because it just didn't feel right. And I Googled and did some research on my own, and that's how I found out the truth behind it. So every time someone hops on for a quick ride from the dock to their hotel, they're unknowingly contributing to animal abuse. Please don't be that person. Walk or rent a bicycle instead. That brings me to my next point. No dogs or motor vehicles are allowed on the island. It's just bikes and horse-drawn carriages, or your 2 feet. On paper, that sounds charming and peaceful. In reality, it can get chaotic, especially at night. You'll find a surprising number of tourists, often drunk, or just wildly inexperienced, racing around on bikes with zero concern for the people around them. Crashes happen quite often, and I saw several. If they would have been motorbike crashes, they would have been fatal, but they were mostly just a little bit of cuts and scrapes or a bruise here and there. Nothing terrible, but just keep your eye out. People get hurt. So if you're walking around, especially after sunset, just stay aware. The island's narrow, sandy paths were not designed for speed. Now, here's something a little different. You don't really have to worry about police on Gili tea. In fact, you won't even notice their presence. For some, that's a sense of freedom. For others, it's a reminder that if anything goes wrong, you're kind of on your own. The island polices itself in a loose, local way, but official law enforcement presence is almost non-existent. Don't worry, though. It's completely fine, and most people are civilized, and the locals do tend to look after everything pretty well. Where you stay matters. This one, I was unfortunately not on the good end of. A lot of travelers make the mistake of booking accommodation near the port without realizing what they're signing up for. Now, in no way, shape, or form is this me putting down Islam at all. The port area is where you'll find the mosque, and while that's part of the island's cultural identity, it also means that you'll hear the call to prayer broadcast loud and clear 5 times a day. The early morning call, in particular, is loud enough to jolt even the deepest sleeper awake. If peace and quiet are what you're after, stay on the opposite side of the island. There you won't really hear it at all. It's calmer and you'll still have easy access to everything. One of the best things about Gili tea is how small and walkable it is. You can bike around the entire island in about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how often you stop. That means that no matter where you're staying, you're never far from anything, be it food, beach bars, snorkeling spots, or a bit of solitude. Speaking of snorkeling, don't waste money on the turtle tours. This is one of the easiest travel hacks you'll ever hear. Just walk into the water. That's it. right off the beach. You can swim with turtles. No guide, no boat, no schedule. Just put on a mask, walk out a bit, and you'll see them gliding by in their natural habitat. It's an incredible experience, and it's totally free. Now, if you're researching the Gili Islands, you've probably heard of the other two, Gili Air and Gili Meno. These are the quieter, more romantic islands. Great if you're on your honeymoon or just want total serenity. But if you're after nightlife, beach parties, live music, and an international backpacker scene, Gili Trawangan is the one that you want. It's the party island. Think of it as the social hub, where the other two are more of a retreat. Here's something that I wish someone had told me. Bring cash. Lots of cash. There are only 3 ATMs on the island. 3. For everyone. And they're often either out of money or completely unreliable. Even worse, some of them have card skimmers. I'm not joking, I got scammed, and so did more than a dozen other people I met during my stay. One of the travelers I talked to had their entire account emptied out before they even realized what happened. It's better to pull out enough cash before arriving on the island and use it wisely while you're there. Now, here's the kind of insider tip that some people might not mention. Gili tea is the only place in Indonesia where you can openly get magic mushrooms. Yes, actual psychedelic mushrooms. They're sold in the form of happy shakes at beach bars, and they're not exactly hidden either. Ask around and you'll find them easily. If you decide to try it, be smart, stay safe, and maybe don't plan any big snorkeling adventures right after. The island is known for its trippy, colorful night skies and relaxed vibe, so if that's your thing, baby, just enjoy the ride. Now, for some good news, the island is very safe. I never once felt in danger walking alone, even late at night. The locals are friendly, and the island community is used to visitors from all over the world. You'll hear every language under the sun here. People look out for each other, and there's a laid-back, welcoming energy to the whole place. Prices are lower than in Bali, which is a huge bonus. You can get great food, massages, and accommodations without burning a hole in your wallet. And speaking of accommodations, some of the resorts on Gili Tea are unexpectedly luxurious. I stayed in a place that felt like a 5-star retreat for a fraction of what you'd pay in Bali. Private pools, ocean views, and everything you could possibly want without the Bali crowds. And finally, let's talk about the beaches. Every beach is a good beach. There's no such thing as a bad swimming spot on Gili Tea. The sand is soft, the water is clear, and the coral reefs sometimes are lacking, but the good ones are pretty stunning. Whether you choose to swim near your hotel or near a random beach bar or off in a more secluded spot, you can't really go wrong. So there it is. These are the things I'd wish I'd known before going to Gili Trawangan. It's a place that can be paradise, but only if you know how to move through it smartly. Skip the horse carriages, avoid the ATMs, and stay on the quiet side of the island. Bring cash, rent a bike, and let the turtles come to you. Gili Tea can be magical, wild, peaceful, and everything in between. But it's better when you go in prepared.